Is joining us as well. And what we basically are talking about is the future. Now, it takes a prophet to see the future, right? And it is very important for us to understand where Israel is going. And I think this is a question that, you could have so many different answers, depending, of course, on whom you ask. So that's why we have the coalition and we have the opposition. And as you see, they've been getting along here so well.
We didn't have a fight the whole day. It's a miracle. I mean, you cannot really believe in miracles seeing two Jews getting along without fighting. You have to believe in God, right?
Well, and it's been so good. Yeah, well, it's going to come. I think Jake is the one who takes care of the mics, and in case nothing else works, I can give you my mic.
It's freedom of speech.
It's freedom of speech. So I need to translate Tatiana. בבקשה.
אני אדבר בעברית.
מה שאת רוצה.
I love my country. The miracle that I arrived to Israel in 1993 made Aliyah, and I sure that Israel, that's home for Jewish people from different countries. We must to live in Israel and Holy Land, the land of our grandparents, the Eretz Amuvtachat.
That's the promised land, the land of our fathers.
ארץ אבותינו.
That's, yeah.
ואני מאחלת למדינה שלי עתיד טוב.
And I wish my country a beautiful future.
יש לנו הכל כדי להצליח.
We have everything to succeed.
חסר ביטחון. חסר ביטחון.
Well, security is a question.
יש לנו הון אנושי מדהים.
We have fantastic people.
יש לנו, אין לנו נפט, אבל יש לנו גז.
We don't have oil like you have, but we have gas.
משה הסתובב עם...
יש לנו שכל.
משה רבינו הסתובב 40 שנה במדבר וחיפש מקום שאין נפט.
Well, Moses, our rabbi, wandered in 40 years in the desert and brought us to the land where there is no oil. So that's what we have.
אבל אנחנו נחשבים סטארט-אפ ניישן.
But we are a startup nation.
ואנחנו תורמים גם לפיתוח המדינה, גם להרבה פיתוח מדע בכל העולם.
And Israel is actually contributing hugely towards the science and innovation.
ואנחנו עם מאמין שיש לנו פרוטקשן משמיים.
We are a people that believes that we have protection from heaven.
יש לנו צבא הגנה לישראל.
Israeli Defense Forces.
לא צבא התקפה.
It's not offensive forces.
צבא לא תוקף, צבא שלנו בא להגן עלינו.
And they keep us secure.
צבא הכי הומני.
That's the most human
הכי מוסריים. ואני מאמינה שאנחנו נוכל להתגבר גם על ויכוחים פנימיים שיש לנו בפוליטיקה פנימית.
And I really hope that we can also overcome our internal arguments.
כמו בכל פוליטיקה, בכל מדינה יש ויכוחים, יש אי הסכמות.
In every country you have the political arguments and lack of agreement.
אבל אנחנו יודעים גם להצביע ביחד כשצריך.
But we also know how to vote together.
יודעים לעשות דברים טובים לטובת האזרחים שלנו.
And we know how to come to an agreement for the betterment, for the good of the citizens.
ואני מאמינה שנמשיך לקלוט עלייה.
What is important, I believe, that we will see the aliyah, the return of the Jewish people to the land.
ומזמינה את כל היהודים לבוא, ואנחנו נשתדל לקלוט אותם באהבה.
And I invite all the Jewish people to come and we will receive you with open arms.
אנטישמיות דוחפת לזה,
And anti-Semitism, of course, is pushing people to that direction.
אבל ישראל צריכה לפתוח את הזרועות ולקבל את כולם.
But Israel has to open its arms and to receive everyone.
ותודה על התמיכה.
And we're so thankful for your support.
Okay, because we don't have a lot of time, so I'll speak fast. I'll try to answer the question as fast as I can. You said that we don't have prophets. We don't have prophecy in order to see the future, but we don't need to be prophets. We just need to read what the prophets have told us, okay? And what did the prophets told us? They told us that one day we will return from exile, right? And look at what happened. Look at the reality. Again, we've been for 2,000 years in exile. 2,000 years in exile. And the Jewish people broke all rules of physics, of history, of everything, and returned to their homeland. It happened. So it proves that God is true, that the Bible is true, and that also that God has purpose for that. Now the question is, what is the purpose? Did we return to the Holy Land just to be a nation like every other nation? Did we return to be a liberal democracy? Or maybe we have returned to serve God's purposes? So I believe the second, that is the answer. We came back not just in order to be a startup nation, not just to be a nation like every other nation, not just to invent the cherry tomatoes and discount key and ways. No, we have much, much higher purpose, and that is to serve God's vision for all of humanity. As Isaiah says, that at the end of the days, the temple will be firmly established at the peak of the mountains, and all nations shall stream to it, for my house shall be a house of prayer for all nations. That is the purpose we came to serve. Now, the only way to apply God's policies is, first of all, to recognize who we are, and that these purposes, that this is what we have to serve. And connect to our land is part of that. You know, for too many years, we've made all possible mistakes. You know, because Israel desires peace more than anything, we were willing to make many concessions. For 100 years, since before the state was established, we accepted the partition plan, saying that that the land has to be divided between Jews and Arabs. But you know what happened? We gave 80% of the land to the Arabs, because Jordan, where modern day Jordan is, was part of the British mandate to build a Jewish home for the Jewish people. We gave it to the Arabs. So that was the beginning of the mistake, that we divided the land already. Then, during the Oslo Accords, we were willing also to give Judea and Samaria and the Gaza Strip to the Arabs. And we were promised that will bring us peace, stability, prosperity, all these things. What happened? We didn't get any of these. Not peace, not stability, not prosperity. And today, everybody is suffering. The Arabs, the Jews, everybody is suffering. So maybe the time has come to learn from our mistakes, to apply God's policies, and to realize that the only real solution is not the two-state illusion, but to apply Israeli sovereignty in all areas, in Judea, in Samaria, in the Gaza Strip. That's the only way to really achieve peace, true peace, stability, and prosperity. Not dividing God's land, but applying Israeli sovereignty on all these places. That is the most right thing to do, morally, biblically, practically, And that will bring better future for everybody, for Jews and Arabs, because as you know, 20% of Israel's population today are minorities, Arabs and Muslims, 20%. You can ask each and one of them if they would prefer to go to live in other countries in the Middle East, I don't know, in Jordan or Syria or Lebanon or Egypt. They would all tell you, no way, we love Israel, we want to be part of Israel. So Israel is good for everybody. So let's do that. Let's do the right thing. And we will see that God will really bring a better future for everybody.
You know, you came with this idea. You had this big conference in Jerusalem calling for the once Jewish state. And I told you, look, you should offer virtual citizenship so that people could, belong to this one Jewish state. And virtual citizenship could also include our Norwegian friends. Yes. I mean, how many of you would like to be the virtual citizens of the one Jewish state?
Wow. So, it's a great idea.
See? So maybe there's some new development, because there are so many people who love Israel.
I would prefer to switch my neighbors with some people from Norway. I'm sure we'll have much more calm atmosphere in our land.
Robert, what do you think?
When you are asking what the future of Israel, it's a very hard and very philosophic question, because the future of Israel, it's the God will. No me, not my friends can say what's going to be. It's only the way of God. So, of course, Israel is a very powerful country with a very powerful army, very powerful research, world research in Israel, with very important things for all the world. But as Ohad said, it's written in the Bible. We are not prophecy, but we read the prophecy, and we see that things coming true. Like three of us came to Israel from the former Soviet Union.
No, three of you.
From Soviet Union.
See? Of course.
Three of us.
I came from Morocco.
Morocco.
Not myself, but my parents.
You was born in Israel, but your parents. And this is a very important thing that the world don't speak about that, but immediately after independence war, Muslim countries throw out from their countries almost 1 million Jewish refugees, and it's happened after World War II. And the world was in silence. Nobody's speaking about Jewish refugees, everybody's speaking about Palestinian refugees. And this is idea to delete Israel. Yeah. The only purpose for the Palestinians is to delete Israel.
Right.
Ohad said that Arabs love Israel. No, they don't love.
Well, we have one here.
I don't
Pastor
agree
Salim.
with him about that.
No. I think we have a group in.
Of course, there is some groups of Arabs who love Israel. But what I want to tell, Israel is very free country. We have freedom of speech. We have freedom of moving. We have all the freedoms for all Israeli citizens. And see what's a miracle. Even one Arab don't want to leave Israel. Yeah. They will never say that the majority. Of course, we have very small groups who love Israel and support Israel and speaking about Israel. I speaking about Arabs. But the majority will not say it, and they not declare that they love Israel. But they never leave Israel because the Israel is the best place in the world for them to live.
Absolutely. But you see, there is something, actually, Ohad, you told me this idea, that we should have a Arab Christian party in Israel. And we spoke with you, Tatiana, about this also. I mean, again, we're talking about the future. Maybe there is a future in strengthening those like Salim. Salim, are you here? I don't know, Salim. Maybe you are not here. But Pastor Salim spoke so well. You know, how they support the Israeli army. And I mean, I would absolutely love to see communities like this grow and be strengthened. What about this?
Yeah, so this idea came to me when I met with a pastor, an Arab Christian pastor from Bethlehem, which, by the way, I don't know if you know, but before the Oslo Accords, Bethlehem was a city with a majority of 80% Christians and 20% Muslims. Since the beautiful peace of Oslo, it actually flipped. Now there's a majority of 80% Muslims and only 20% Christians. So look at what happened only in the city of Bethlehem as an example. So he came to me, to my office, and he asked me, what can I do? How can we help promoting the goal? So I thought about it for a second. I told him, you know, maybe the time has come to establish a different party that will represent Arabs in Israel, because the current parties representing only radical jihadists. And maybe the time has come that normal people, just like yourself, okay, Christians and Muslims, Arabs, who wants to live a better life, who desire peace more than anything else, maybe you should be also represented in the Israeli parliament. Maybe the time has come for that. So maybe what we should do is really to establish such a party and to help these people to be really represented and to achieve their goals also.
That's a genius idea, I think. Tanya, what do you think?
אוכלוסייה נוצרית ערבית היא מיעוט מתוך מיעוט.
So the Christian Arab minority is a minority within a minority.
כדי להתקדם בפוליטיקה צריך הרבה קולות.
In order for them to kind of proceed into politics, you need a lot of votes.
ומפלגות קטנות מפלגות סקטוריאליות מתקשות לעבור אחוז החסימה.
And these kind of sectorial small parties, they have their challenge of crossing the electoral threshold.
מפלגות גדולות בעצם בדרך כלל מציעות ומצרפות לרשימות נציגים של קבוצות אוכלוסייה שונות.
Larger parties usually add to their list these representatives of minorities.
ובגלל שאוכלוסייה של ערבים נוצרים היא לא גדולה ולא מספיק משפיעה, אז בעצם לא מספיק מקבלת ייצוג גם בכנסת.
So because they have not been, maybe it's also that they haven't been enough united.
וזה חבל, וזה
Then they
חבל.
don't get representation in the Knesset, and it is very, very regrettable.
אני אגיד עכשיו משהו, זה לא תוכנית שלי, אבל מה הייתי שמחה שזה יקרה.
This is not my plan, but I would be really happy to see this happen.
שיהיה אליאנס של יהודים ונוצרים ביחד, שידאגו ויקדמו ערכים טובים שאנחנו מאמינים בהם במדינת ישראל.
That there would be a party of Jews and Arabs that have the similar values that they would then promote.
מפלגה שתדאג לאזרחים נטו.
A party that would take care of the citizens.
בלי ויכוחים, כאילו שתהיה מפלגה חברתית ומוסרית.
How do you say it?
The party of values and ethics.
Very good. You know what I know
it's
is
a very
that
social party, social terms and values, spiritual values. אבל זה רצון.
This is a goodwill.
כי כדי לעשות את זה מישהו צריך לדעת כי לעבוד בעולם הפוליטי זה מאוד מאוד קשה.
To enter and to work in the political world is very, very
אנשים עם לב
difficult.
טוב.
People with good hearts
לא, קשה להם להתנהל בעולם שהוא אכזרי
It's
וקשה.
very difficult for them to walk in this very cruel world of
צריך להיות מאוד
politics.
מאוד חזק
You have to be really strong
כדי לשמור על הלב
so that you
טוב,
can keep your good heart.
ולכן קשה, יהיה קשה לגייס מפלגה
And
כזאת.
it's very difficult to get people to such a party. I mean,
אבל אפשר להשתלב במפלגות אחרות.
but you could join other parties. Well, these are good thoughts. Now,
אוהד השתלב בציונות דתית ואני השתלבתי ביש עתיד, ואנחנו עובדים ביחד לטובת האזרחים.
Ohad is part of the religious Zionist party, and I am part of the Yesh Atid party, and look, we work together even. It's wonderful. Now, actually, the Arab minority, Christian Arab minority, what I know is about 160,000 people.
Which is enough to get into the Knesset.
See?
So it's possible. We have to believe it. We just have to believe it. I think it's possible. I think it's more of a question of mind shift and not a question of the ability. We just need more good people like we have here who would stand for these values, who want to be represented, who believe that yes, they deserve to be represented in the Knesset, and I think it's possible.
Wonderful. Salim, what do you think? Should we go for it?
It's a lot of work.
A lot of work, but it can be done. Well, it's something that is now up to you and your prayers, because I really think that there could be something if there is enough of goodwill. Robert, your last words before we finish.
I would like to ask Tzionut Datit to start this process.
I'm willing to do that.
Wow.
Okay.
So it's a miracle what right now happened on this stage.
If you want to be realistic in Israel, you have to believe through miracles.
That's Ben Gurion.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Albert, you will allow me to have a little bit of chutzpah.
Of course.
And to take another minute
Please,
of you.
take
Okay.
two.
Okay.
You are Israeli.
Of course.
Chutzpah, it's our DNA.
I'll have my chutzpah with me, and I'll say another thing. Listen, I know this room is full with unbelievable people who are standing with the truth and willing to fight. So I'm saying, and I'm asking you, first of all, yes, please have a change, make a change in this country to change their policies, to change this government, and to really bring a better future for your nation, for the world, and for our nation. But I think, again, supporting Israel is not enough, because if the support for Israel goes again to the same mistakes, to the same pattern of the two-state solution, it's not good. So when you're supporting Israel, I ask you to go to your leaders and tell them to realistically change their policies from the mistakes of the past to the, as we said before, to God's policies. Not to support a two-state solution, but to support applying sovereignty, Jewish sovereignty in the state of Israel. If you will do that, you will help us change the course of history, change the reality in all over the world, because as Michelle Bachmann said before, applying God's sovereignty, really praying for the peace of Jerusalem will bring peace to the entire world. So stand with us, and together we will win.
Thank you so much, Ohad.
Thank you.